Hi everyone, welcome back to my weekly meal plan episode. If you're new here, this is a episode that I put out every Wednesday. It's pretty quick. It's just literally my meal plan for my family for the upcoming week. The reason I share this is because I think maybe it might be helpful to someone in trying to put together their meal plan, or maybe just give you some motivation, some things to think about. Maybe you'll hear something that reminds you of something you haven't made in a while and help you get your meal plan together for the upcoming week, because meal planning just saves a lot of time and money, and I think it's a great benefit to do for yourself. So this week's meal plan, I forgot to mention, the blog post that goes along with this meal plan, which has links to any recipes that I mentioned, can be found on my website at lolasfrugallife.com. So this meal plan starts on Saturday, February 11th. And for this Saturday, I actually do not have a recipe to share, because for Saturday we are going out for a family birthday dinner, so I won't be cooking that day. For Sunday, it's a little bit different than my typical dinner meal plan, because I'm not cooking a typical dinner. Sunday is February 11th, which is Super Bowl Sunday, and I am making a whole bunch of appetizer type foods, like way too many, but these are what I have on my list, so I will share them with you. And I'm going to make probably some around lunchtime and some around dinner time to kind of like stretch them throughout the day, so that some will be kind of like sort of like our lunch, and then some will be kind of like our dinner. So the recipes that I have are, the first one is Super Bowl Stromboli, which is from tasteofhome.com. And this is like, it does use homemade dough, but it says it only takes like, I forget, it was a short time, like an hour, I think, what you need for it to rise. So I figured it was reasonable for me to make on Super Bowl Sunday. And it's basically like a bread stuffed with ham and cheese, and it says summer sausage or salami. So we're going to do that. I'm also going to be making avocado mango salsa, which is from allrecipes.com. This is obviously a salsa made with avocado and mangoes. It's pretty much mangoes, peppers, onion, sugar, vinegar, that type of recipe for a salsa. I'm also going to be making buffalo chicken meatballs, which is from tasteofhome.com. So those are meatballs made with ground chicken, and then they're tossed in like a buffalo sauce, style sauce. Also making skinny crescent jalapeno poppers from bettycrocker.com. Those are where you take the crescent rolls and you stuff them with a mixture of chopped up fresh jalapenos and the boursin, garlic and herb cheese, and bake them in the oven. I'm also going to be doing Frank's Red Hot Original Buffalo Chicken Wings. The recipe is from franksredhot.com. I am making pizza pinwheels, which is from allrecipes.com. This is where you take the crescent roll and you make it into basically you kind of make it into like two rectangles from the package, if I recall, and then you layer it with mozzarella cheese and pepperoni, and then you roll them up and slice them into like little pinwheels and bake them in the oven and serve them with pizza sauce to dip in. I am also going to be putting out some pepperoni and crackers and cheese. So it's actually not too many recipes. It's kind of a little bit of a lot, but I just wanted to make sure that I covered what different people in my family like. And then I also wanted to make sure it was going to be enough to kind of snack on throughout like lunch and dinner, because I wasn't going to be making like a regular dinner. We kind of do like a small little like family meeting, just the family in my house, like little celebration. So that's going to be for Super Bowl Sunday. And like I said, all of these recipes can be found on my website. Monday is our hamburger night. We do this every other Monday. So I don't have a recipe for the hamburgers. I just use ground beef, make it into patties, and cook them up on the stovetop. And then I'll be making oven fresh seasoned potato wedges, which is pretty much what I always make to go on the side with hamburgers. That's from allrecipes.com. This is just a simple potato recipe where you take the potatoes skin on and you cut them into wedges and toss them in a Ziploc bag with some olive oil and Parmesan cheese and some other seasonings, and then you just bake them in the oven. And then I'm going to be doing a can of pork and beans with them also. For Tuesday, I'm going to be doing cheesy chicken nachos recipe, which is from realsimple.com. I've really been liking having these nacho recipes once in a while for our Mexican theme night, which we do every Tuesday. So we'll be doing those nachos again for that Tuesday. For Wednesday, we usually do some type of seafood. So this week we're doing baked salmon. The baked salmon is one of my favorite meals to make because it's so easy. I just buy the frozen salmon fillets and I brush them with olive oil and then some smokehouse maple seasoning by McCormick. I preheat the oven to 450 and then I just put the salmon in the oven in a baking dish for like 12 minutes and it comes out perfect. And then I'm going to be serving it with some egg noodles and some frozen vegetables, whatever I happen to have on hand in the fridge. For Thursday, I'm going to be doing sausage tortellini soup, which is from greatgrubdelicious.treats.com. On Thursdays, I usually always do like soup and grilled cheese, although I'm not going to probably make grilled cheese with this soup because it sounds like it'll be really filling on its own. But I usually do like soup and grilled cheese or breakfast for dinner on Thursday because I go grocery shopping that day and I like to have like a pretty quick, easy to pull together meal on that night after I come home and put the groceries away. So this was actually a recipe that I saw. I don't remember if it was on Facebook or Pinterest or whatever, but it was a new recipe that I saw and it looked like it would be good. It's like a creamy spinach soup with tortellini. So we're going to give that a try for Thursday. And then Friday is the last week on the meal plan. So for Friday, I'm going to be doing chicken cutlets, which I don't have a recipe for. This is basically just taking chicken breasts, slicing it thin, dipping it in egg and breadcrumb, and then frying it up in a frying pan. And then I will be doing cauliflower au gratin with that, which is from allrecipes.com. This is a cauliflower dish where you take like cauliflower that's, what do you call it? Like cooked? I can't, like pre-cooked a little bit. And then you just take the cauliflower and the sour cream and cheddar cheese and mix it all together and bake it in the oven topped with some panko breadcrumbs, and my family really likes that. And then again, I'm just going to be doing some other frozen vegetables, whatever I happen to have in the oven. I actually just got, I think it was Bird's Eye. One of the brands sells, which was new to me, maybe they've been making them all along, but it's like breaded green beans, like crispy green beans with like breading on them, like breadcrumbs, and you bake them in the oven. So I recently bought those to serve as like a veggie side for one meal, so that actually might go good with that, and I'm curious to try them. So, but yeah, when I do the frozen vegetables, I usually just kind of look in my freezer and see what I have, because I always pick up some kind of frozen vegetables and then I just grab whatever might go best with the meal. So anyway, so that's it for this week's meal plan. Like I said, you can find any of the recipe links on my blog post that goes along with this week's meal plan. My website at lolasfrugallife.com. So thank you so much for listening, and I will see you back here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at lolasfrugallife. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.